Okay, and we are live. How you doing, guys? How's it going? This is Albert. If you don't know me, I'm an English teacher, and welcome to English Fluency with Albert. And here we are basically learning to become more fluent. During this about 50 minutes that we're gonna spend together today, I'm going to answer some questions you guys asked me during the past weeks. If by any chance you want to add some more questions, you want to ask me something, just use the link you find down here below. You can find the link it's a simple Google Sheet form. You're going to fill it in. There's a couple of fields, your name and your questions. You press submit, and as I receive your question, I'm going to answer live during one of these streamings just like today. So let me see if there is anybody connecting at the moment. And if you are connecting, just say hi. I'm going to say hi back to you, no problem. And if at the moment there's nobody saying hi, let's go on with the first question. So the first question was actually made from Paulino. Hello, Paulino, if you're watching this as a replay or if you are live, if you are here with me now, how you doing, my friend? I love your questions. Paulino is one of the regulars. He always asks very interesting questions. So I'm very happy to answer to your question right now, which is what's the difference between however and anyway? And I remember you asked me this question the previous live streaming session we had together a couple of weeks ago. And of course, unfortunately, I meant they were the last minutes of that live session. So I said that I would have replied to your question today, and here we are just for this. So the difference, my friend, between however and anyway is pretty simple because they are very, very different. However has a reason and anyway has another reason. Totally different. They have nothing to do with each other. You use however when you are saying something and then you are presenting a contrasting thought. So, for example, today is raining, right? However, I'm staying home watching a movie. So, these two things, the fact that it's raining and the fact that you're staying home, they are two contrasting things if you want. And to say that, you use the word however. So, this is how it works. Whereas if you are maybe if you want to change topic altogether, this is when you're going to use anyway. And I remember I made a video on the topic of fillers because these words, both of these words can be used as fillers. And I talked about anyway in one of those videos. I'm going to leave a link down here as soon as this streaming ends so that you can, if you're checking this video later on, you can actually go and check that lesson out. But anyway, let me make a few examples just like right in this moment where I very naturally used anyway to change a little bit topic. In fact, this is the way you use it. If you want to change topic, you're going to say anyway. If you want to present a contrasted opinion, that's when you're gonna say however. So very, very different. You can't be mistaken. If you're using however, it's because you're presenting something different. For example, let's say that somebody else is saying something about, I don't know, about, let's stay on the weather topic. Okay, so let's say that maybe it's very cold, all right? So that person is saying to you, oh, today is very, very cold. And you say, yeah, that's true. However, if you wear something heavy, then, well, it's not gonna be that cold anymore. So you see, like you're presenting a contrasting opinion, a contrasting thought. That's how you use however. And once again, anyway, instead is used to change topic altogether. Anyway, before going ahead with the next question, I want to check if there are any questions live from the people who are watching right now. Hello, Irina. How you doing today? I just watched. I just saw you right here. Hello, Paulino. Welcome to this live session. And by the way, this was your answer right here. And please let me know if that was clear enough, or if something, or if you want me to explain something a little better. I'm right here for that. And in the meantime that you guys are answering and maybe new people are coming on the live session, let's go ahead with the next question, which is not working. Okay. Anyway, so we have, and this was the very next question, all right? But anyway, in fact, I want to change a little the topic. Okay, we have another question from Shanti, which asks us, smart, clever, intelligent. Why three words with same meaning? This is a very interesting question, my dear. Hello, Shanti, if you're here, and if you're not, if you're watching this, maybe in another moment. Hello, anyway, how you doing? So your question is absolutely awesome because apparently these three words seem very, I mean, seem the same, okay? But they're actually very different, and they're used for different situations. To explain better what I mean, I'm going to use a tool I created and I'm very proud of it. And it's simply this white page right here, because it gives me the possibility to do some drawings and make everything that I'm telling you very easy to understand. So we have these words here. We have intelligent, right? Then we have, let's say, let's make it, I want it green, but I can't see green. So, yeah. No, let's go with orange. Then we have clever. Can you see clever? Yes, you can see it, right? And then we have, what was the other one? Let me double check again. So it says smart, clever, intelligent. Okay, so that was smart. So intelligent, clever, and smart. They actually serve a very different purpose. So to explain what I mean, let's say that you want to go, you are at, no, not a color, let's say black. You are at point A, all right? So you are here, this is where you are right now, okay? And you want to go to B. So B is your target. Target, sorry, my very bad writing. But anyway, so B is your target, okay? So you want to go from A to B. Now, when you say that when you say that somebody is intelligent, all right, it means that it uses the intellect, all right? Intelligent comes from Latin to intelligent, but whatever, it doesn't matter the origin, but what matters is that when you're using the intellect, basically you're able to recognize the steps you have to do to reach that. So if you want to use intelligent, it's because you are able to recognize what's wrong and what you can do right. All right, so that's how you do. Oh, yeah, you're intelligent. This is what it means. It means that you can easily understand what to do, okay, to get from A to B. Now, this is it. This is what means the word intelligent. Let's say that, no, let's say clever, right? So clever is a person that knows how to get to the various steps. All right. So because one thing is knowing what to do, and totally another thing is actually doing it, right? We all know that. I'm sure that just like me, you have experiences where you kind of knew you had to do something, but you just didn't know exactly how to do it. Now, clever is exactly that skill. When a person is clever, means that knows how to go there. So you can say that clever is the how, right? Whereas intelligent is the what. Okay, so how here so the how is how you reach it, and what is what to reach. Because of course, if you're only clever but you're not you're not intelligent, then you know where to go. I mean, you don't know where to go, right? So you're just doing things without actually knowing what to do. Now, smart, right? We got smart because we got intelligent, we got clever, and now we got smart. Smart, my friend. And you know this well because it's present everywhere in technology. For example, we got smartphones, right? Now, why are they called smartphones? Now, this probably is a good question, right? So now let me show you what smart is. Smart is knowing that you're at A point and you want to reach B and you go straight there. Yes, this is smart. Smart. The reason why smartphones are called smartphones is because they give you the possibilities to do way more things with your phone than just calling somebody. And for that reason, say that your B for using a phone was to, oh yeah, for example, say you want to go to the cinema and you don't know this, you don't know how to reach that. Okay, so the smartphone is able to, because it's smart, is able to not only tell you where to go, but it's actually taking you there, right? Because you got Google Maps or any other app like that that actually helps you reaching your destination, right? And for that reason, for that very reason, you're gonna say that this phone is smart, all right? Or if you make a smart choice, okay? So if you're making a smart choice, you are basically making a choice that not only helps you reach your target, but in a better way. For example, if you want to learn English and you also, for example, like to code, right? Like to learn coding, how to make up software. And I'm not I'm not an expert in this field, so I might say something that is not exactly right. But the point is that if you want to learn English and you want to learn coding, if you learn coding in English, that's being smart. Or the same is for many other skills. Actually, there are a lot of skills that can be learned in English. So if you learn, if you want to learn English and you want to learn a particular skill and you do it in English, well, my friend, that's being smart, because instead of learning English, then taking a course, or better, taking a course for learning English, then taking another course for learning coding, you actually learn coding in English. That's already your target. You see what I'm going at, guys, right? Now, anyway, once again, anyway, right? Let me take a break and see if there are any comments in the comment section, and let's see. So Palino says difference between trash, garbage, and rubbish. I think rubbish is referred to people, and the other one things. Okay. So you say that rubbish is referred to people. I'm gonna drink something, and um, whereas trash and garbage is about. Okay, now I understand your question. Well, actually, they are the same thing, but trash, actually, all of them, they're all the same. So trash, garbage, and rubbish, they're all the same. They're just used in different countries, whereas maybe the word trash is mostly used in the U.S. The word rubbish and uh, garbage, yes, garbage too, is used mostly in the UK, but they're used indifferently about people. And actually, now let's talk about it. They're they're used both for people, not so much. Come on, you don't really want to say that somebody is rubbish, right? But probably, Paulina, what you mean is the what you're saying. For example, actually, say that nobody knows. Um, let's say that nobody knows what we are talking about. Okay, so the word trash, rubbish, and garbage, they refer to waste, to whatever you don't want anymore, and you decide to get rid of it. So I don't know, you want to eat a banana and you don't eat the skin, right? So the skin is something you throw away, and you throw it in the rubbish. But you also throw it in the trash, or you also throw it in the garbage. So these three words, they mean exactly the same. So now that this is clear, let me get a little deeper on the word rubbish. This is typical from the UK. They may say that referring to not so much to people in general, but to what people may say. For example, if I say something and this something is not true, then I'm saying rubbish. I'm talking rubbish. Or maybe if I say something useless, then I'm talking rubbish. I'm saying just rubbish, that it doesn't matter. Or you can say that is also for a product. Say a product is something you tried. Actually, this is a very good phone, but let's say that this phone is not good, okay? And then you can say, "Oh, this phone is rubbish." And yeah, you're not gonna say this phone is garbage or this phone is trash. What do you mean trash? Yeah, because in the United States they only have the word trash mostly. Of course, they can use the other two, but they don't very much. Whereas the word uh, rubbish and garbage are very much used in the UK. Yes, and whenever something is basically not worth your time, your energy, then you're gonna say that's rubbish. Yeah, maybe even that's garbage. Yes, definitely. So I hope I answered your question, Paulino, and let me know if I did. Hello, Hugo. Welcome to our live. I'm very pleased to see you. Absolutely, and thank you for your compliment. And I'm right here to answer to all your questions. Some of your questions have been already pre-made, and you can pre-make your question just by pressing the link you find down here, down this video. There's a link. You press the link. You have a little form, and it asks you just your name and your question. And as I receive it, I'm going to answer live. The difference is that if you do that, I'm able to prepare, so I know in advance what to say, and also I can also prepare these little things down here, these little boxes with the next question. And in fact, the next question is from Jose. Hello, Jose, how you doing? And Jose is asking, I never remember new words. How can I improve memory? My friend, this is a very important topic. I think that everyone that's watching right now is feeling the same. It's very difficult to remember everything. Me too. Like there are a lot of things that I don't remember in my life. And also, speaking about English, there are a lot of words that sometimes I just don't remember. Now, the point, my friend, the point, my dear Jose, and whoever is interested in this question, is to understand that you don't need to use your memory to learn new words. If you are only using your memory is just like the memory of a phone, right? Just like mine, okay? It can be bigger or smaller, okay? But it's still limited. And of course, we're all busy people. Everyone has, something to do. For this reason, if you only rely on your memory, then it's very difficult to remember everything because there are so many things to remember, right? So if you, for example, let's say that you don't know the word, right? How do you say it? How do you say this one in English? All right. This is called brush pen, or it's also called felt tip pen, right? There are many ways to say the same thing, right? Just like in the video that I published recently, there are many ways to skin a cat, right? Now, the point is that how can you remember how to say this without using your memory? Well, you can. You can, my friend. First of all, because if you are just using your memory, say that you also have to go and buy some groceries, then you have a mental list of everything you have to buy. Then, even if I told you what's the name of this in English, you won't remember because your mind is busy with other things. So you can't do everything. So don't rely on memory, right? So if you don't remember new words, it's because you tried to put them in your memory. Imagine your memory like a room, and you can only put so many things in your room, like you can't, there's a point where there's nothing you can put into a room because there's no more room available, right? There's no more space, right? So for that reason, don't rely on memory. But how do you do that? Well, I'm here to tell you. So you want to connect every new word, every new expression with something. You can connect it um, with a sound, with an image, or with an emotion. Now, in order, they're actually in order, these three things: sound, image, emotion. Emotion is the strongest, sound is the weakest. Image is a very good halfway because it's not easy to connect everything emotionally. I mean, like, what kind of emotion can you really connect to this object here, right? So you gotta kind of rely on images for this one, or for sounds, right? Especially if you are a person that have a very good sound memory, then this is definitely possible. But yeah, this is how you do it. So if you want to connect it with sounds, my friend, you want to listen more and more and more English. That's what you want to do. The more you listen to the language, the more the words you listen stick to your long-term memory, right? Because of that, because you're using sound. And okay, so let me tell you what the word is. Okay, oh no, I said it before, sorry. So yes, I said brush pen, right? So, but probably you already forgot, because if you don't know it before, it's just too little. Like you need to have it repeated more and more before you actually are able to remember the word brush pen. But if I keep on saying the word brush pen, then probably after the sixth or seventh time, you'll be remembering this word brush pen. This is behind every TV commercial, for example. Have you ever wondered why there are so many TV commercials and they're always the same, always repeating the same things? This is the reason, because they take advantage of the sound of certain phrases, words, songs, the chorus of any popular song, for example. It's so memorable because of the same reason. It uses the sound to connect to your memory. And it's even stronger if you use it yourself. So actually, if you are doing it with me and if you didn't know this word before, it's called brush pen. Brush pen. Now you want to repeat it with me, and then you want to put it into phrases. For example, imagine you want to have it, right? And so you want to say something like, I want to have a brush pen. I wanna drink some water. Or I need a brush pen. Or can I have the brush pen, please? After 3 or 4 times that you're saying it, this word sticks into your brain because you're connecting it with the sound brush pen. But of course, an even stronger connection, my friend, is done with images. As I said the word brush pen, I actually showed it to you. And I'm showing it right now, right? So this is a brush pen just like this one. And just like any other brush pen I used before. These are all brush pens, right? Now you see this and you are listening to the word, to the word, and this is how you remember. You see, in a previous video, I also said that you can't read to begin. If you want to learn English, you don't want to start with reading. The reason is because between the written word and the meaning of the word, there's no connection. I'm sure that, I'm see if I ask you now, what's the name of this? You can tell me, right? Actually, if you know it, if you understood it, maybe you don't know how to write it, but try to put it into the chat box. So if you remember now, what's the name of this? Put it into the chat box down here, and as soon as I see it, I'm gonna tell you about it. All right. I want to show you another way to actually see images. I spoke about this in a previous video where I showed you how to think in English and learning new words, connecting them with images. So we're doing it right now. We said that the word brush pen is this. And as you can see, now you can also see the way it's written, brush pen, you see? And you can definitely see that this is exactly what I'm talking about. We are looking at a lot of colorful and colored brush pens, you see? But if you want to get a little deeper, you can also understand why it's called in many other ways. So I said that it can be called brush pen or even felt tip pen. As you can see, if you see these images right here, once again we have other brush pens, and you can actually, to make sure that you are looking at the object you are searching, you can look at the descriptions down here. Optimus felt tip pens. I don't know if you can actually read it because I'm over. Yes, you can actually read it right here. Yeah, Optimum felt tip pens. Every object you're looking at here has a description. If you look at the description, you can actually see more words related to what you're talking about. So let's get back to the brush pen, right? Because we want to understand why. Why is it called like that? How can you remember this word alone? Well, let me show you. Well, everybody, I guess, knows what a pen is, right? So it's pretty self-explanatory. But what about brush? What's brush? As you can see, these are the images for the word brush. And yes, it can be this one. This is a brush. But also this one, this object that I personally never used, but I'm sure that a lot of ladies, maybe you are watching this and you're a woman, probably you have been using in your life this kind of face blender brush. Or these ones, yeah, these tools are more familiar with men or with me or with men in general, right? And yeah, these are called brushes. Of course, brushes is plural, right? As you can see, whereas brush is singular. So now this too, this is a brush as well. So in other words, basically, the brush is not the object, but it's the image of what's on top of it. Yeah, this part here, this is a brush, right? And it's the same kind of part that you have here too. Of course, this is a hairbrush, but the point is the same. If you want to understand the word brush, this is how you do it. So a brush pen is a kind of pen, is a kind of pen, yeah, it's a kind of colorful pen, color, sorry. It's a kind of color pen that has some kind of a brush up on top here. So now you, here we go. Now you really, really understand what I'm talking about, right? So as you can see, if you want to learn, if you want to make sure to actually learn English without learning new words more than English, just if you want to learn new words without using your memory, you have to connect them, right, with something. So far, we looked at sounds, we looked at emotions, and no, sorry, we looked at sounds, we looked at images, and now we're looking at emotions. Now, if you connect with something emotionally, that is the most powerful way. Probably, um, think of perfumes, right? There are certain smells that you might have heard only once or twice in your life, even though you've heard them only once or twice in your life. And maybe there have been 10 years that you haven't heard, sorry, that you haven't smelled the same perfume. As soon as you smell it, you recognize it because it was connected to an emotion. The same goes for a song. You listen to a song 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and then you never listened again. But that song was connected to a very powerful memory. Maybe it was connected to the first kiss or to the first time you broke up with your girlfriend or boyfriend. I'm sure that even if you are going to listen to the same song in another 10 years, you'll be remembering exactly the emotions you felt in that moment. And this is the power of emotion to learn new words. If you want to learn, you can do that with every word, all right? So you can't do with this one, I guess. But the more emotions you connect with a word, the more it sticks to your memory. How you can do that? The easiest way is songs and movies, especially movies. Especially movies, my friend, because movies are designed to let your emotions come through. Most of the movies, at least, right? So, for that reason, for that very reason, if you connect what you're listening to, the new word you're listening to, the emotion the character is portraying, the character is displaying, when that new word sticks to your memory. Another good thing that you can watch to make new words into your vocabulary and make them stick to it is definitely live comedy shows because, well, because they make you laugh, and this is an emotion, isn't it? For that reason, if you watch a live comedy show and it's using a word you didn't know before, well, after you listen to it and then you hear everybody laughing, maybe you listen to it a couple of more times, then eventually once you understand it, and you may use as subtitles for that, once you understand that word and you laugh at the joke that the live comedy has done, well, the comedian, sorry, that the comedian just did, that's it, my friend, then that word will stick to your memory. And this is what I personally recommend. So, anyway, let me know in the comments if this was a good explanation, if you have any other concerns about it, not only Jose, but everybody that is listening to this video and wants to have more information about it, just use the chat box or the comments to do just that. Meanwhile, I'm checking if there are any new comments about it. Let me see. So, Palino, I know these following have the same meaning. I have no idea and I'm out of ideas. Maybe the first one is English and the other one is slang. Probably we were talking about clever and intelligent and so on, I think. So we have already answered to that. And Hugo says, I started to follow you because I'm studying English and your explanations about many subjects are pretty easy to understand. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. Also, your fluency speaking is too easy for non-native ears. Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you for this comment, and I really appreciate it. And it's actually what has helped me during the years because I've been living abroad a long time for a long time, and having this kind of very clear pronunciation really helped me a lot. So when I decided to create a YouTube channel, I thought of what I could do that I could help the people the most, and I definitely went for the fluency, for the way you speak, because that's what saved me in many situations where I was abroad alone and I didn't know how to handle things. Having a very good speech really helped me a lot. Irina, thank you so very much. Thank you very much. Very useful explanation. And your videos about tips on how better the English skills are amazing. Keep going like that. Oh, thank you very much. I definitely will. Yes, absolutely. In fact, just because we want to keep it going, let me see if I can put the next question on. Okay, so Hans, hello Hans, how you doing today? So your question is, why do you say I have a day off and I turn off the TV? Why off? Oh man, this is a question. This is a super question because I'm sure that you're not alone wondering why the word off has so many meanings. It can be used for so many things. You turn the light off, you can you have a day off, just like you said, you turn the TV off, and when the alarm of your maybe when the alarm of your wake up call goes off is exactly what happens when it sounds. So when your alarm goes off is because it sounds. And there are many other ways to actually use the word off. When a plane goes off the ground, you say it takes off. All right, so we got so many meanings. So now I want to give you a very clear way to always remember how to use this word and how to um, never be confused by it again, right? So never again, don't worry about it. So first of all, we want to understand that to understand off, we have to compare it with on. And for that reason, I need once again our little boards right here. It's so useful. I'm going to turn it anyway because we need some new space, all right? And we said that we needed to understand the word off compared to the word on, right? So we have these two words and one is the opposite of the other. By the way, this is a very nice tip I want to give you. When you're learning something, try to always learn it in couple with the opposite. So if you learn black, make sure to learn white. If you learn, oh, let me do like this. If you learn tall, make sure to learn short. If you learn big, make sure to learn small. I'm making very easy examples to understand because I want you to understand that when you reason with opposites, everything is just easier. This is a tip. So, off and on, right? Now, in the previous question, no, I need it like that. In the previous question, we said that we can understand every word in English with images, right? So if you picture the image of something, that sticks to your brain, to your memory, right? This is what we said before. Let's apply what we just said with these two words here, off and on. Now, the word on is something in movement, something that's moving. You can imagine it like a spiral, like this. This is a spiral, and you want to imagine the word on like this. I know it's a little strange, okay? I understand that, but trust me, it'll be clear. In 5 minutes, will be very, very clear to you. On means that something is on, something is moving. For example, this streaming is on, my computer is on, and all of these things are all on, right? And you want to maybe imagine this on movement like an ever ever moving stream, like a river. Okay, imagine a river. uh, we can go over pixels. You have to use your computer, my friend, if you want to learn English. Your computer is a great tool because you can learn basically pretty much everything, because you can connect everything with images and sounds and everything. It's all in your computer. So, for example, the word on, all right, is just like this river here, the one here, okay? Because it's a constant flow. It's ever flowing, ever moving, all right? So this is the meaning. Now, this is okay, so it's a constant thing. So for this reason, the light is on. The light is on because the current flows inside the circuit, creating the same flow of a river, so it's on. Or um, for the same reason, we can say that the brush pen is on the paper, right? Because it's here and it's available to us. We're gonna talk about this thing later, all right? Maybe in the next streaming, because I see that the time is starting to be up, okay? But let's move on to off now, because off, we said that it's the opposite, right? So off is the same movement, but the movement has stopped. The movement has stopped. There has been a rupture and the movement has stopped, right? Now, let's get back to the light, okay? So when the light is on, or the TV is on, all right, it means that there's a constant flow, okay? There's a constant movement. But when the light or the TV is off, means that that movement was broken. There's no more movement. And for that reason, you say that it's off. So let's get back to the examples here. You say, I have a day off, all right? You have a day off because usually you are on, as in you are moving, you're working. You say a day off to mean that you have a day that you take a break from work. Usually it's Sunday. In many countries, the day off is Sunday, and on Sunday you don't work, and exactly you have a day off, maybe even two, Saturday and Sunday. They're often days off, and they are called off because you're not on, you're not moving, all right? You broke that cycle. For that reason you're off. Turn off the TV, we already understood that. And once again, you can use it for many things. For example, we said that the the plane takes off. Actually, we can actually show it. We can see this. We can see this. So let's get back here, all right? But this time, let's get to another website. It's called Giphy. Probably you're familiar with this. I made a video on this very website. It's so useful to understand actions. In fact, if I write up here, take off, the first image you see is of a plane leaving the ground. And you say take off because it goes off the ground. To better understand, let's get back here. You see that the movement is finished and it's like it's taking off, right? So imagine, have you ever tried, don't, okay? Have you ever tried to open a washing machine as it's still spinning? If you open a washing machine when it's still spinning, you will see that all the clothes you have inside will shoot off just like this. They shoot off. They shoot off because of this movement. When something is spinning and then you break the spin, this is what happens. It shoots off. So for this reason, you say that this is off. Okay, this is the image of off. And so once again, appunto, once again, when you have the plane, the plane that takes off, all right, means that it was on the ground. The plane was on the ground, okay, and then it took off. And there are so many examples of this. And so let me see in the comments because we're also about to finish this streaming. So let me see if there are any comments about it. Let me see. Oh, well, okay, yeah, there are some. Let me see. So let's take an example. I am planning to make a job interview in England and bring my curriculum. Shall I use the word portfolio or not? Ooh, okay. Uh, Teacher talk about how you to use how uses in, on, and at. In, on, and at. You know what, dear Hugo? Okay, your question deserves an answer, and for that reason, Hugo, in, on, at. All right. I'm sorry, I wasn't showing it. I'm going to answer to your questions next Saturday, same time. I'll be live again. I'm making a little start so I will remember, all right? And I'm going to answer to your question first. I can actually answer to Paulino's question straight away because it's pretty easy. The word portfolio is, and the word portfolio regards of like something you want to show, all right? So usually people have portfolios of pictures, videos. If you are a if you're a web developer, then your portfolio is every website you created. So it's very different from the curriculum. Into the curriculum, you have your studies, your past work experiences. The portfolio is your productions. The portfolio is what you produce. Not every word, not every job, sorry, not every job has a portfolio. So depending on your job, you may have a portfolio or maybe not. Usually, if you're looking for a job, you are showing a curriculum or a resume, which is basically a shorter version of your curriculum. Because usually the curriculum basically shows every experience you had. But after a while, there are so many that you want to create a resume, which is just you know, a little version of your curriculum. I think that this is another very interesting topic that we can talk about in a later streaming. How to present yourself for work, to how to look for a job in English. If you how to look for a job in English. If you guys are interested, sorry. If you guys are interested in knowing how to look for a job in English, let me know down here in the chat box or in the comments, or maybe ask me a very specific question you have on the topic of looking for a job and maybe doing so in English, and I'll be preparing something for you, all right? So let me see if there are any more comments. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up right now. All right. So you guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. It's been awesome to talk with you. It's been awesome to answer to these questions. Use the form below to ask me any more questions for the next time, and I make sure to reply to those. You guys have a great weekend or a great life in general if you're watching this as a replay. Take care, guys, and I'll see you